guys, what is up? It's Casey Molina here, and I am back today to talk to you guys. One of my subscribers actually suggested that I do a video on this. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, but I'm just going to get right into the video. This is what it's like to be a black girl in college. Okay, so I actually just have some notes here. In an attempt to make my video shorter, I've started taking notes for things that I want to talk about. So let's jump right on into the video. Alright, so what it's like to be a black girl in college. It's hard. I mean, let me explain. So, I shared where I go to school before. I go to Virginia Tech, which is a PWI, which means it's a predominantly white institution. And coming to Tech was definitely reverse culture shock, if that's a thing. And when I say that, I just mean that coming from an area where people were just very like knowing and aware of like race, it was a thing, and you were sensitive to, you know, certain terms and just certain things that you would say and certain jokes, and like you'd had friends of multiple different races before. Coming to Blacksburg was not like that at all. There are some people who didn't really know what to say around others and ended up saying inappropriate things that are kind of hurtful. People would say things to me out of ignorance, and they didn't know it was hurtful. And so that was the biggest surprise to me, and also a source of a lot of frustration when I first came to school, just because I was like, how do you not know that what you're saying is hurtful, you know? So that was one thing. So like going off that, I didn't really feel like I fit into a lot of the clubs and organizations that were geared towards black students at Virginia Tech. You know, there's Black Student Alliance and AKAs, the sororities, and, you know, things like that. And at first I was like, you know, if I'm not finding acceptance on the campus in general, then maybe I should look for, you know, black institutions, or not black institutions, but just like black groups and organizations that, you know, cater to me feeling wanted and feeling accepted and feeling like I belong. And I was feeling really frustrated and really angry at being different. I felt like I didn't fit into the majority of people there, and the majority of people are predominantly white, and I didn't fit into, you know, the organizations geared towards black students. So I was really frustrated, and my first semester I actually really considered transferring away from Tech because I was not feeling it at all. Parties were hard. I don't talk about parties. Parties were really hard because at Tech, you know, you go to a frat party. Not saying that I'm a partier or anything, but you go to a frat party and, you know, guys look at the blondes. Like, the blondes are beautiful, and, you know, they're, I don't know, and every other type of girl is just ignored in comparison to them. And that was really hard because I was like, you know, I know I'm not ugly, so like, you know, that was definitely hard to adjust to. The parties really made me feel like I wasn't beautiful. But, you know, and again, it just goes into, you buy into like the culture of your school, and it's not always true to real life. But yeah, and I came to a point where I realized that I had to get out of my box. I felt like I was starting to just accept these things that people, you know, saw about me, like the fact that I was a black girl and on a campus of predominantly white people that go there, it's like you're looked at differently, and people don't see you as beautiful, and they put you in a box, like this stereotypical box. And I'm not saying this is true, I'm saying that this is what I thought to be true. And I actually learned this saying in my philosophy class. It's, you're not who you think you are. You're not who people think you are. You are who you think people think you are. Just marinate with that for a second. So realizing that and thinking about that made me realize I need to hop out this box because I'm really limiting myself in who I could be on this campus. So I was in an area where I felt like, I don't know, I was at a place where I thought the only way that I could be accepted on campus was to surround myself with other black people. But when I did, I felt even more out of place. Like, not more so out of place, but I just still felt out of place. I felt like nothing I was doing was making me feel accepted. But the reality is that when you go to a campus that has predominantly any one race or the other, that's not what the world is like, and that's not what the workforce is like. And you will be uncomfortable, but college is 4 years, maybe 6, maybe 8, but it doesn't last your whole life. And the people that go to your school, you know that there's so many other races and cultures and ethnicities of people out there. So if you're feeling discouraged, know that that's really not what the world looks like. When I finally decided to break away from the stereotypes and the boxes that I felt like I was being put in and that I feel like I was putting myself in, I did what was comfortable. I did what was comfortable for myself. And I accepted the fact that, you know, if I went out and with people that I genuinely liked as people that I thought were kind people, and they said something ignorant or hurtful, I just had to accept the fact that I would have to educate them, and I would have to talk to them about it, and, you know, and just kind of let it roll off my back. Because if you look at the world as so, like, they don't understand me, then I'm done with you. You're not going to meet new people, you're not going to be exposed to new experiences, and you're not going to see what the real world looks like. The real world is working through challenges and differences every day, and the real world is being uncomfortable every day. But when you do find people that you like and you know to their core are kind people, stick with them, and you will have trials with them. But don't go into, if you're a black woman or if you're a minority, even if you're white and you're a minority that's going to a school that, you know, makes you feel uncomfortable because you don't see as many people like you, just know that you will be uncomfortable for a short time. But if people are good people, then you will have to explain some things to them because you care about them and you want them to be educated. And I guess that just goes into my closing point, just the fact that, you know, it's good to have a couple people. You always want friends that look like you, and that's nice. You should have a couple friends that look like you, but the world is a big melting pot. It's a big place, and people look different all over the world. So it's important to have a couple friends that look like you, but what's more important is having a community of people that resembles your morals and your values. So at the end of the day, if you feel like you're meeting people like that, then don't let people put you in a box because of who you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to look like. And don't get me wrong, being a black woman at tech has not been easy. There have been times where I just felt like, you know, I didn't want any friends just because of the things that I've experienced. But you do find out more about yourself, and it's more about yourself instead of what society expects you to be. And that's the most important part. And the sooner you find your place, the sooner you'll start having a more positive college experience. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Please request other videos. I'm in the process of choosing my next controversial topic, and I did not post the video last week, so I've got some catching up to do. But if you guys have any ideas, please comment down below. And if you like this video, go check out my other ones and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Casey Molina, over and out.